Hi guys, Kurt Provost here, your guide to all things new skin. I watched this documentary a couple of months ago and it really opened up my eyes to the fascinating world of mycelium, or fungi, mushrooms. These strange things that we've only really kind of scratched the surface on what they mean for the environment and for us, because they help us in many different weird and wonderful ways. And so I've been taking mushroom supplements for many years now because it's a large component of traditional Chinese medicine. And in particular, I've been taking Cordyceps sinensis and reishi mushroom. And these two, well, I'll focus on Cordyceps sinensis. Check out this video here because I actually cover that already. But in short, Cordyceps sinensis is one of the premium mushrooms or fungi within traditional Chinese medicine. Extremely expensive, and it helps with the production of ATP, or it helps with the health of your mitochondria, which produces ATP. And so your energy levels, your sexual vitality, your mental clarity and focus, these sort of things it impacts on. So if that's something that's important for you, check out that video that I linked before. This video is going to be on reishi mushroom. But before I get into that, I want to share my journey because I recently, well, since watching that documentary, I decided to start up my own little mushroom farm, my mushroom production system. So I found a supplier in Australia and I ordered some mushroom kits and I started growing mushrooms in my backyard. Cultivating mushrooms is not as easy as it would seem. You see, mushrooms don't like competition so much, at least the varieties that I chose. I chose two that are edible, shiitake and oyster mushroom, and I chose turkey tail, which is a medicinal mushroom. It's very slow growing, however, it was beautiful to watch the transformation, and I have since dried them out, ground them up, and put a little sprinkle of them in tea. They kind of taste like as if you've soaked old bread in hot water. So not very pleasant, not very exciting. I'm not sure if I'm extracting the active ingredients from it or not. A bit of a botched job, a very DIY, and that is why I am retiring my mushroom growing jacket, and I'm just gonna end up buying mushrooms from farmer markets and buying supplements that actually have some sort of quality control process and standardization process so that I can be sure that I'm actually getting the active ingredients. So without further ado, let's dive into this episode and the product of this episode, which is the reishi mushroom. So ReishiMax GLP. The reason why I want to cover this is because reishi was actually featured within that fantastic fungi documentary, and it is supposedly the king of all fungi. And I'm just going to put a little disclaimer out there first. Everything I'm going to say from here on out, well, and the first stuff too, is not in regards to Nu Skin. It's not claims that Nu Skin is making. What it is a huge body of scientific knowledge that has looked into reishi mushrooms, and this is all available out there for you. You can just go to PubMed and type in reishi mushroom clinical studies. You can find a bunch of stuff out there because they've been looking at it for a very long time. So anything that you find slightly controversial has nothing to do with Nu Skin. It just has to do with the body of evidence on what these fungi can do for humanity. So reishi mushroom, I've printed out a whole lot of stuff. There's pages and pages of clinicals. Anyhow, so there are 62 different types of reishi, of which 6 are the most common or the favored, and that is the red, purple, green, yellow, black, and white varieties. So of those 6, the red reishi is used because it can produce the highest quality extract and has been subjected to the most scientific evaluations. So it can be substantiated far better than everything else. So reishi is your best choice for inhibiting cancer cell migration and adhesion. Remember, Nu Skin's not making this claim, this is other scientific studies. So it's the best traditional medicine as described by Shenyong Benkao Gangmu in 200 BC. So this is nothing new. It's safe for long-term consumption and it has been a health enhancement property, it has health enhancement properties, and it helps to prolong life, which I'm quite happy to do. It's got a bunch of active ingredients within it, and I'll cover the 4 main groups of those. So polysaccharides are the first ones, and what they do is they help balance the immune system, they regulate blood pressure, and they reduce cholesterol level. They also inhibit cancer migration and adhesion, which is a huge deal. All of those things. There's adenosine monophosphate, AMP, which prevents platelet coagulation and blood vessel blockage. It also improves condition of high blood pressure, stroke, heart vessels blockage, and numbness. I imagine right now, with people being concerned about different adverse effects from a certain jab that many people in the world have taken, this, not making any claims, but this might be something they want to look into to help with those different issues that are showing up. All right, I'm just heading into dangerous territory there, so I'm just going to avoid that and continue on reading from the literature. There is, don't know how to pronounce that, tridipines, I think. Tridipines inhibit the growth of cancer cells, they are anti-inflammatory, and they help to improve the liver's metabolism. And there is the LZ8 protein, which modulates the immune system. It's an anti-allergy protein, and it helps to regulate the blood glucose level. So a bunch of really important things that are getting covered there by the reishi mushroom, but it gets more interesting than that. You see, just mulching up the mushroom like I've done with the turkey tail, just drying it and then putting it in a blender and then trying to use heat to extract the beneficial ingredients from that, is one way that you can gain access to those. However, it's the most inefficient pathway because it turns out that the reishi spores, so mushrooms have spores on the underside of the leaf. If you look at it like an umbrella, and so the top part, you can consume that, but generally the spores are going to be underneath. Now, not all mushrooms do you want to consume the spores. There's a lot of really poisonous mushrooms out there, but in the case of reishi, the spores are where majority of the active ingredients are actually contained. So reishi spore is the seed of the reishi for reproduction. It is difficult to harvest and the amount is usually low. So reishi spore is high in polysaccharides, terpenes, and fatty acids. It is the essence of reishi, and according to the Dictionary of Chinese Medicine manufacturing process, by consuming 0.6 grams of reishi spore, it's the equivalent of consuming 45 grams of the reishi plant, the entire thing. So you see the difference in efficiency right there? It's a massive difference. So according to Beijing Quang'an Hospital, reishi spore has cancer cells inhibiting properties. So this is where a technology that Nu Skin uses comes into play. And this is what makes this product right here one of the most potent on the marketplace. And that is because we use a patented high airspeed technology that helps to break the spores open without damaging the active ingredients that are within those spores. So if you're just consuming it and the spores that have this tough shell, of course, aren't getting cracked open and releasing a lot of those active ingredients, then you're going to need to consume a much larger quantity in the hope that some of it will have the beneficial ingredient. Or you can have a very small quantity of the highly, highly active cracked spores. And that's exactly what happens with this one right here. So within this article, it's quite interesting. They talk about how to choose a good reishi product. And so step one is choose the red reishi. And that's because, there's 62 different types. And of that type, the the highest quality extract comes from the red, and it also has the most scientific studies and understanding of it. So step 2 is insist on cracked spores. It is hard to find a company that does that because it's an extra step, it's expensive, it's time consuming, and people aren't really aware of the difference. But it is approximately 75 times more beneficial than consuming just the whole reishi mushroom if you're actually getting the cracked spores. Step 3, solid wood log cultivation is better. So this is talking about the cultivation process. So what happened with my mushrooms that I was cultivating was I got a bag of a mixture of, most likely it was wood shavings, or it could be cardboard or something like this. Depending on the mushroom spores and the mycelium that's in there, they will like to eat different things. So reishi grows off trees that have fallen over, very specific types of wood. And if you have that wood, then it's going to be much healthier mushroom. Whereas if you've just got the wood chips and it's all blended together in a composite and pushed together for the price, it'll be much cheaper and it'll be much faster to cultivate that way. It's not going to produce a superior product. So in this instance, they're saying solid wood log cultivation is much better. And that's because reishi is prone to pesticides and heavy metal contamination. Where Nu Skin really excels in this regard is that they use the proprietary cultivation method that adopts organic wooden log cultivation in a completely controlled environment that is free of pollutants or pesticides. So it means that the reishi within this product is pure completely, and then it is tested to ensure that it is. So check out the 6S process that I cover here that goes into how it's tested more thoroughly. So there is an exclusive multi-step extraction process that increases the yield and concentration of active ingredients so that each 500 milligram capsule contains 13.5% polysaccharides and 6% triterpenes. It's highly soluble, and it has a lower residue content, hence a higher bioavailability. What that means in plain English is it will absorb into your body, or it's got a much better chance of actually absorbing into your body and going to where it needs to go rather than just passing straight through and wasting your money. So this proprietary cracked spore technology is used to ensure that 100% of the broken spores are extracted and put into this product, rather than just maybe you'll get a cracked spore here and there. So it helps to support the cell function and protect cell structures, including the DNA. This product has won so many awards, and I think I've gone enough sciencey on you right now, but in regards to who should be using this, what sort of consumer would want to use this product, well, I take this product every day. I take a capsule in the morning, capsule in the evening. This is my preventative, or I call it my life insurance policy. I just take it to help boost my immune system. It helps to fight mild infections is what it actually has on the label here, but as we have uncovered within the other scientific data, there is so much more that reishi does. It's a risky topic to be talking about because Big Pharma does not like competition. So I think I have said enough for today. If you want to get your hands on the king of the fungi realm, then you can do so by getting the very best product that is available in most marketplaces by clicking through one of the links below, of course, and there'll be a very welcome discount there for you guys. So my name is Kurt Provost. I am your guide to all things Nu Skin. If you're looking for something a little more specific and you would like some help with that, then by all means reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. My contact details are at the end. And if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, then just comment them or send me a message through my details at the end. And be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified next time I create a video like this. Cheers guys, have a great day. See ya.